Hello, and welcome to Learn with Mark. We are going to be covering the topic of build-in battles today. I have one of my older ones that's been sitting on the shelf, an extra build-in battle for Scarlet and Violet base set. And I just opened up an Elite Trainer box, so I wanted to go over the different items that I take to a build-in battle and what you should expect to bring with you. And then we'll open up a box, we'll talk about all the rules and instructions so you can be fully prepared for if you go to a build-in battle event. I will say that build-in battles are probably one of the best introductory kind of tournament style things to do in the Pokemon trading card game. They have challenges and cups and other stuff, and you can go to a league night and just play some regular games to get comfortable with the game. But if you are new to doing like an event, and definitely a paid event, build-in battles I think are the best kind of introductory. It's not very stressful. Everyone is on the same kind of level playing field because you only play with the cards that come in your box. So you're not having to worry about somebody who spent more money than you or got luckier for pools to put into a deck, things like that. So it's a pretty even setup. So before we jump into the actual box, the items that I usually take, and I just mentioned that I had opened up an Elite Trainer box recently because they come with the items that you need. So I like to bring sleeves because I don't like to shuffle cards without sleeves, especially some of the rarer cards. You're going to get a promo in a box when you do a build-in battle event. So I like to protect the cards. So I opened up an Elite Trainer box. This was a Stellar Crown Elite Trainer box, and I'm going to take these sleeves with me to sleeve up the deck and sleeve up any rare pools that I have during the event. So I got my sleeves with me. I also want to bring my special condition markers. So they have a burned marker and a poison marker. You never know at a build-in battle what type of status conditions might come with the cards in the box. Of course, you can do a little bit of research ahead of time, but that's part of the fun is these are brand new cards for all of us. We're reading, we're learning, we're trying to figure out how to put the cards together, so on and so forth. So special condition markers. If you don't have any, of course, people will be able to lend you the ones that are there. Most players who are experienced will have extra dice and extra condition markers to be able to help you out, so you don't have to have all your own. But if you want to be, this is my set, this is my kind of crew of items, bring that. The other thing that I like to bring from an Elite Trainer box is the coin flipper dice and then the damage counter dice. So every Elite Trainer box comes with this. You'll have 3 dice that go from 10 to 60. You'll have 2 dice that go from 70 to 120, and then 1 dice that goes from 130 up to 180. And those are usually that usually covers enough of board state for damage counters. You have a coin flipper dice. Of course, you need the coin flipper dice for setup and some other kind of card mechanics. So bring a coin flipper dice. I like to have 2 sets of Elite Trainer box dice so that I can potentially have up to 60 damage for my entire bench. So, you have your active and you have your 5 bench in the game. I like to have 2 because sometimes there's poisons or spread 1 or 2 damage counters throughout the board. And yeah, sometimes you just need 6 of those 10 to 60 dice. So I usually like to take 2. Of course, I have a whole kit with a whole bunch of different stuff that I've built up over the years. So it's not always, it's different than most people. I like my accessories. So if you come hang out, you can see my setup. I've got ability markers and condition markers and different dice and different tokens to put on different things. I go to the extreme, but bare minimum, I would say 1 set of Elite Trainer dice for damage counters and so on. Okay, let's go ahead and switch on over to the main screen and the main event, of course. This is a build and battle box. You can see it'll say build and battle on the bottom there. It will also tell you what level of play you can expect from the build and battle event. I believe most of Scarlet and Violet has been a 2 level or a level 2 game and complexity setup. So this on a lot of the Play Pokemon products lately it's been very, very useful. You can see the level of familiarity with the trading card game that you're going to need or going to want to feel comfortable with the product. So if it's a level 1, it's usually just like basic rules of the game. You get a Pokemon out there, you get enough energy, you can do some attacks. There might be a little bit of support from different Pokemon. Level 2 is when you get into the parts where there's some Pokemon that stay on your bench that do certain actions or help you get certain trainers in or energy from your deck and do a different type of supporting type of things. Not always an attack. Sometimes it's ability, sometimes it's when you play from hand, things like that, but there's extra complexity. Usually there's 2 Pokemon in decks like this, or boxes or products like this, where they are synergized, where you have to do them together to get the most value out of it. Now, level 3 is where you get into that competitive meta gaming state, where you have all sorts of mechanics and pieces, and you want to play the deck in a very specific pattern or specific way. You have strategies for early game, mid game, and late game. Level 3 is definitely more advanced, but we're talking about level 2 today, build and battle stuff. A lot of the instructions will be in the box, so come prepared to read, basically, is what I'm talking about. The rest of it is just going to be kind of telling you what is inside. Of course, you get a 40 card ready to play deck, 1 of 4 promo cards, 4 booster packs, and a code card to open up or have a build and battle in the digital game. So when you reach the event, you will have to pay an entry fee and then find a seat somewhere. Usually depending on the place that you stay or depending on the store that you go to, I'm going to leave that flub in there. Depending on the store you go to, I would sit next to your friends versus across from your friends. Now, the Danger Room, we actually do full pairing and Tom, so it's more randomized, but some stores will do like pen and paper, so you usually end up being like playing across from your opponent for the first game. So if you're fine with that, then of course, sit across from your friend, but I like to sit next to the people that I don't really want to play with in the first round. I'd rather play other people, and that's another reason I go to the Danger Room, of being able to play that way, that style. We do it through the tournament organizer, and everything is randomized for who you end up playing during the tournament. So find your seat after you pay your fee, and then wait for the event to start. When the event does start, this box will be handed out. Each person will get a box. They will say, wait to open it until time starts, because you will have a specific amount of time to build your deck. Now, during that minute, it's usually it's 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the store. When you're in that kind of first step, we're going to open the box, open the packs, and then figure out what we really want. So I'm going to move some of this to the side, and we're going to simulate. Okay, I've sat down. The tournament organizer has gone over kind of the rules for this stuff. They'll explain what the event is like, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and hear what the tournament organizer is going to say. Everyone receives 1 build and battle box. You will open it up. You will build a 40 card deck from the cards that are inside. You have a 40 card deck out of the box with the promo automatically ready for you to play. You do not have to modify it. You can choose to modify it with the 4 packs that you have. It's usually recommended because, there's part of the fun of the build and battles. You get to add more cards to it. Most of the other rules are the same for Pokemon trading card game, except in the build and battle format, you can actually play with more than 4 of the same named cards. So if you get 4 Kofus, or if you get 4 Pikachus, or you get more than 4 Pikachus, you can put that all in your deck. I know with the last build and battle we had, I think Drifblim was like the big one. So if you could get 6 Drifblim into your deck, you can actually play with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that is just on you to decide how you want to build your deck. But again, 40 card deck, and we are going to be playing with 4 prizes in the event. The events are usually 3 rounds, so you'll play 3 games. For each game that you play, it is recommended that you receive an extra pack. Not all stores will follow that kind of pattern. Some will do tournament style, where it is the highest winner, first, second, third, gets rewards. But for most events, in the recommended event, is you get the box, and then you get a pack for every round that you participate in. So we'll have a first section where we build the deck. Then we will have 3 30-minute rounds, best of one in most cases. Some stores will tell you about the different, how they're going to be setting up their tournament. And then, report who wins, and then we go on to all 3 rounds, and then at the end we figure out who won overall. Usually there's a lot of people talking like, oh, I'm 1-2, or I'm 2-1, or I'm 0 well, we had some ties, so 1-1-1s in the last event. So it's usually just a lot of good banter and hanging out and having fun with Pokemon. So then there will be a chance for questions before you dive into the box. But the next step is, okay, your time has started for the first part. Now, in this box, I like to bring some type of tool. I use a flathead screwdriver. It's like a little keychain thing. So I bring that so that I can pierce this first plastic, because it's not always friendly. So if you sit near me and you need the tool, come and grab it. But the first part here is usually the toughest. Okay. We're getting started. We're going to have 30 to 40 minutes to build our deck and go through everything. First thing that you do is you have an insert. You can see the promo that you get, and then the 4 packs. I like to keep this box and all of the cards that I pull into the same box. I'm going to put that up there and give 4 packs. The insert that comes in here basically goes over the same rules that your tournament organizer will have said. This one is talking about what the set is about, and then it talks about the build and battle event. It includes a ready to play. You can open the form to take notice. There are different items. Normal limit of 4 cards with the same name doesn't apply with build and battles. The things that I just said basically are the building tips, and then talking about what the set is. And then of course, on the other side of the set, with the Scarlet and Violet era, they've been putting a set list, so you can kind of see what's in the set if you want spoilers on what you might be able to pull. So that insert is always very good. I always hold on to at least one of them to be able to do the checklist early on. Now, 40 card deck, this little sleeve thing, there's always going to be a little piece of plastic in the middle here that has a solid piece of plastic around it. So don't struggle here, just find where the plastic piece is. So I usually turn it over, thumb, just pull it through, and then you can pull all the way around, and then I like to get the last little piece off there. So a little bit of a tip and trick for you. A lot of the products have that middle thing. Otherwise, you're struggling or trying to find a tool, and it's well packed is basically what I'm saying. But we have the promo card. The promo cards will have a stamp. They will say they are promos down there. So I got a Rev of Room Scarlet and Violet. Now, because I've seen this, I see this card, I know at least some of the cards that I'm going to be playing are going to be part of the Rev of Room series. And then I start looking through the deck that I got. This is the 40 card deck. This entire deck I can sleeve up and play immediately. I don't even have to do anything else. And then I can still participate in the event. But we like to see what we're working with here. So you go through, looks like I have some metal energy for Rev of Rooms, but then I have blue and I have green, which means I have water and I have grass. So let's go ahead and go through and see. We have Tatsugiri, so there's some water. We have some Scatterbugs, Spupas, Dondozo, some more water attackers, and Vivillon here. There's the Varoom, and then you usually get at least 1 or 2 extras of your promo, not the actual promo, but the regular card it's based on. And then a couple trainers. And then I just kind of go through and I start reading. Any of these cards I don't know. I try and figure out, okay, what does this do? Well, what does Vivillon do? Do I care what he does? Do I want to keep him? But I'm looking at blue. I'm looking at green for types in my deck. And then there is a code card to be able to redeem. So there you go. There's people. You want to redeem that? I'm going to put that over there. And lastly, but not least, in every single deck that comes, well, lately, I'll say lately, some of the older ones don't have it, but they have a trainer tips card, and they talk about what the 2 kind of pairings, there's usually 2 different pairings of Pokemon in a build and battle box. that tell you or work together or are part of the mechanics of the new set. So we have Vivillon here and we have Dondozo, and you can see, and it talks through what are these things doing, what are the attacks doing, what does it recommend on how to play the deck. I like to collect these. These are not really valuable at all, but I like to collect them just because of the different information. They also have a copy of one of the pack artworks on there. So you can see this is the same artwork as the pack. So this goes into my binder. I like having these as part of the collection. And I do, if you come out, I do ask, let me reset my seat. Okay. I do ask other people if they don't want their trainer tips cards, like, give them to me. I collect them. Alrighty, so I now know I have a grass and I have a water pairing deck. I also have some metal in there, so I'm thinking anything that's colorless, anything that's water, anything that's grass, anything that's metal might be a potential to be put in here. I also think, I'm also wondering in my mind, I'm moving some stuff around so I have some space. I'm also thinking while I'm doing the build-in battles or doing the deck building step, what trainers can I add into there that will help? The part of the kind of hard portion of build and battles is you don't have enough trainers to make your deck very consistent. So I always think of that in my head of like, okay, not really sure if it's going to be that great or not. I like to go through and sort my cards. Trainers pretty much I guarantee are going to be in the deck. So I always put trainers up here because I'm definitely going to be looking at those. But then everything else, I kind of just sort. I go through. What are we talking about? We're talking about there. We're talking about fire. And then, of course, the energy there. So I go through. I got a Miraidon as the rare for that one. And yeah, usually we're talking, we're hanging out. We're saying, oh, what did you get? Your pools? Oh, I got a Poke Gear. That's really going to be good for the deck. We got a Smoliv over there. We got a water up there. Some more stuff. We got some, and then I got a Meowscarada. Oh my goodness, this is a new set. We're just having fun, right? And then, once I open up all my packs and I'm hanging out, talking with everybody, then it's really starting to come down to, okay, what am I going to build? Got some extra things there. Got some more waters there. We have a colorless. I do think you always have to be aware of attack costs. Of course, you see like this Cacnea. I don't know if I would put it into a deck, but it has 2 colorless energy, so I could put it into any deck that comes up. It looks like I'm not, well, hopefully I'll get a pull on this last pack, but we'll see. Okay, got Wiglet. We have Grivard. We got some more Spupas, Cyclizar, Toxtricity, Growlithe, Rotom. And there we go. We got a nice full art there. I'm going to go ahead and sleeve that up because I don't know if I will be playing with it. I don't think I got to Shuppet, but there you go. I got a nice Banette, full art Banette as part of the packs in there. Now we're excited. We got some other fun cards that are, yeah, I'm sure other people are pulling fun stuff as well. And we're like, oh man, you got that. Oh man, that was my chase card. All the fun. It's a fun event. I highly recommend it. And everyone should be very friendly. We're all having fun. From here, I kind of just go through and I see, well, what is worthwhile? Okay, so this is 110. It's a basic 1 energy or 3 energies to get the attack, but that has draw support if I need it. That damages itself. I'm going to see, I'm not going to play, I don't think I'm playing dark, and I don't see anything that is purely no energy. So I'm going to put that to the side. I wasn't planning on playing fighting, so there's that. Let's look in the psychic stack. All of them take psychic energy, and I don't have the evolution to be able to play the Hypno, so I don't think I'm doing anything with the psychic there. Let's go ahead and look at the lightning stack now. We have Pokemon can't be paralyzed, benched lightning. So if I wanted to do lightning, this does 20 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So there's a sniper there. That might actually be useful. 2 random cards from your opponent's hand, mills them and shuffles them in their deck. So I don't think there's anything that I'm going to be using for lightning. Now, We did have water and grass, so I'm going to stick with that kind of pattern. I know there was a Tatsugiri in there, so there was like the Dondozo line. I could put that one in there to help support, and then I would read through each of these to decide if I'm going to use those. Not going to do any fighting. And then I saw there was Vivillon, so Spupa is an extra one of the line that we had. Do I have any of the other Spupa? I have another Spupa, so maybe I'll put those in there just to be able to have pull and do consistency is the word I was going for there. Don't have the evolutions for those, so can't use it. Let's see. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So Cacnea, 2 energy for 30. I could have some fun there. Smoliv, I don't think I'm going to put in there because it's too weak. And I did not see a, let's see, in the Psychic area, did I have, okay, so I don't have the evolution to play the Banette. So at this point, I'm going to put those back into my box because I don't think I'm going to be playing with them. And then I go through and I say, okay, I have 40 cards here. I want to add pretty much all the trainers that I get. So what cards do I take out of here to do that? Maybe it's energy. Maybe I'm only going to run the Tatsugiri line, so on and so forth. Basically, it's going through deciding how to stack or put the deck together to then play the event. And you have that 30 to 45 minutes to be able to do that. From there, you just play some games of Pokemon. Have some fun with people, open some more packs afterwards for the prizes, and continue just to enjoy Pokemon in general. Hopefully, all of this information was useful for you. Hopefully, it kind of answers some questions. If you have more questions about the Build Battle event, feel free to throw a comment down below. I will try and answer you as quickly as I can. And yeah, go to a Build Battle, come hang out and have some fun. Again, I'm going to be running one of the events for, if you've seen one of the previous videos, I'm going to be running one of the events, and I sometimes I like to play in the Build Battles as much as possible. So if you come out to an event that I'm a part of, come sit next to me, say hi. Yeah, maybe we trade ahead of time. We can trade afterwards as well. Of course, you can't trade during the event. That was one of the rules I forgot to actually mention now that I'm thinking about it. Can't trade anything in the box while the event's going on, but afterwards you are fully free to trade different stuff. So if somebody pulls your chase card, you can try and figure out how to trade it for them. A lot of the prices trying to be fair in pre-release is kind of rough, but most of the cards will fall into a category, and I base it based on previous sets value during pre-release trades. So more negotiating happening if you do trades during Build Battles. Regardless, hopefully this was a very useful video for you. Thank you for watching as always. If you're new here, hit subscribe. We usually open up and have some fun. And I do occasionally do these Learn with Mark videos so that people have some more information and are better prepared, right? I have anxiety as well, so I know sometimes you just want to know more information before you go to an event. Hopefully this helps. Who knows? As always, remember to keep singing the song in your heart. And in the end, a little music goes a long way.